Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to somewhere I didn't expect to be off the tee, but it's something that I want to talk through today with you. So we're out here again at Waterfront, and we're talking about some different lies you're going to get now into the summer season. It's a glorious day on the Costa del Rotherham, but the balls ended up running, bouncing just before the trap into here. So something you need to think about when you're playing at the moment is when you normally hit the driver, you might not reach this trouble because it's not running out as far. Now we're getting 40, 50, 60 yards of run, starting to bring in more trouble, so we might need to change what club we're hitting off certain holes at your golf club. But when we're in a fairway bunker, what we want to think about is just trying to get this out. But we've got two options here. So on the par 5 here at Waterfront, we're around about 230 yards from the green. So it's a green that I could probably reach. I could probably hit a Fairway Wood and get on there. But there is bunkers all the way down the right hand side of this hole, and they're going to be in the way potentially and be something that might then cost me more shots later on this hole. So the first thing I'm wanting to do here is think about just playing out, getting the ball out of this bunker. There's not too much sand in here, but I don't want to reach the trouble, but I also want to play to the left of the bunkers in the distance. Nice and easy here. It's not about trying to get it as far as possible, because again the ground is firm. I see a lot of people here take maybe an 8 iron, take a 6 iron, play safe, but it bounces and runs into the trees. So they've got out of one hazard and they're in another hazard. So all I've got is a pitching wedge here. I'm going to now take my stance here, and one big thing we need to watch is I'm not trying to now get my feet down into this sand. If I do that, what I'm doing is I'm lowering my low point. I'm going to catch the ball heavier, and what we see a lot of the times is that either stays into this bunker or it just gets out. And then from there we've still got 200 yards into the green, and we've not really recovered from this area. So when you come in, we're trying not to get your feet to go obviously down into the sand. We're also not wanting to get too wide with the stance. Again, if I get wide, there's potential for the foot to slip. It's going to change the low point again. If I change that low point, we're going to misstrike the ball. So a little bit narrower. If we go shoulder width as a norm, we're going to bring that in, the feet in, probably a couple of inches each side. And then from there, what we're wanting to do is maintain our speed. So we're not trying to hit this hard. We're trying to maintain the speed, stay in balance, and make sure that my base is stable. And then from there, I'm going to be able to try and pick this cleanly off the top of the sand. Just like that. Get the ball going, well, sand in my face. Get the ball going at least 100 yards, maybe even more. Down there, it's short of the bunker, it's just left of the bunker, and I've now been able to get a good shot into the green. I've got out of this trouble, I've not gone into more trouble, and I'm able to play that. But if you've got a hole at your golf course, if you've got that par 5 and you think, or even a par 4, into a fairway bunker, there is the option that you can play with a fairway wood. So for me here, again, I could reach with this club. It is the trusty 7 wood, which you know I do like a lot. But the principle stays the same here. We're not trying to get too wide with the stance. We're going to keep it a little bit narrower than if we was into the fairway. And we're really trying to swing in balance. Any kind of out of balance is going to make this ball come off in any direction. So a little bit narrower than normal. Ball position stays where it would be as of norm. And if I was going for the green, I'll be in here now, in balance. I'm able to get a good strike on that. There's not much sand in here, and that has come up just short and right in front of the green. If the bunker, for example, your fairway bunkers have a lot of sand in them, it's going to be much tougher for you to play that shot. So the shot to go to would be the pitching wedge. Take your medicine, get out of there and move on. But in this one, we've not got too much sand, so we can still play that, make a little divot, get good contact and get the ball closer to the green. But you've got to think, guys, risk and reward, which one's the percentage? The percentage is going to be the pitching wedge, but we've got to make sure we narrow that stance, swing within ourselves, not try and hit it too hard, and guarantee that ball's getting out there and it's safe, so we've got a shot into the green. But in the coming weeks, we will be doing a little bit more course management, talking about holes maybe at your golf course where something wasn't reachable, but it is now reachable, and where we're wanting to land the ball. So let's get down there. We're going to play now a greenside bunker where potentially it might also have not a lot of sand. So guys, now we're looking at a greenside bunker. So a greenside bunker with not a lot of sand in here, and this is what we see at a lot of golf courses, maybe one that they haven't filled in for this season as of yet. And when we come to this, people think, well, what do I do? Am I supposed to dig down? Am I supposed to open it up? What am I supposed to do with the club? And here what we've got to think is, if we do open that golf club, we take a normal stance and we've got a lot of bounce on that. If we slightly misstrike that, it's going to come out, it's going to have a lot of run on it, and that did go up in the air and it did come out nice and soft, but it's run a little bit further than what we want. So what we want to do here when we're on these kind of shots is think about, if I roll this one into a similar line, is we want to get that square leading edge, helping us get a little bit now more angle of attack, a little bit more down underneath the golf ball. So what I'm going to suggest, and don't quote me on this every time, but we're going to tell you to get the most loft possible. So get your 60 degree out, get the most loft you've got in your bag, square that up, and we're going to guarantee that it's not going to hit the ground first, then hit the middle of the ball and send it straight through, or leave it in here. So what I want to do, guys, is square that club face up, get your 60, get your 58. I'm going to use my 56 and show even short-sided we're still able to play that shot. So the setup will be the same, club face square. I'm not going to make as much motion. You'll see that came out a little bit fiery, but had a lot of spin on there. So a lot of spin on that ball, that's going to then check for you. We have a little bit more control. We're not going to duff that, it's not going to run out, but you can see that if you did have a 60, that would have launched ever so slightly higher, maybe had a little bit more spin, and on this one very rare occasion, stayed closer. So I'm going to go into the bunker now where there's a little bit more sand, and show you how we just play the opposite shot. So as you'll see now by that footprint right there that hasn't been raked, you can see there's a lot of sand in this back corner of this bunker. So if you come here, you might plug, you might find a reasonable lie, but what we've got to do now is look at opening that club face. So a lot of people will probably play shots like I've just played there, very square. What they'll see then is they'll take a very big divot here. Oh, there's a lot of sand under there. It popped up nicely, but it's not gone the distance I needed it to. From there, it's got to be very perfect. It's got the timing's got to be very accurate there. If we're slightly off, we're going to catch it. You know, I only caught there an inch before, not as much speed, and as a result, that's just gone in front. The club's also dug down into the sand, so we're not getting the ball moving forwards enough. If I now open that club face again, give myself a similar lie, open that club face up, a little bit longer swing, I can now get the club slapping the sand more. You'll see it's a shallower divot. It's not taking as much sand out there. That's the reason why the ball's gone forwards more as opposed to coming up short. Talking tour averages from here, we'd be looking around about 10 feet. Well, 7 feet to 10 feet. I would say that's probably right on the edge of that. I've played a good shot, but that's better than me being there. If we open that club face up, we're going to use the bounce, and by using the bounce, we're going to be able to slap that sand, as opposed to it going in with a leading edge and digging. We can then brush that sand, get that ball coming out with forward momentum and getting out of the bunker to start with and closer to the hole. More importantly, you can be positive. Too many times in the bunkers, on all the shots that we've played, everybody's very tentative, very negative, just trying to dribble it out because they don't have any control. On this one, with more sand, it's the shot that even tour players hate the most. We have to open it up, we have to be positive and commit to the shot we're playing. So guys, 3 different bunker shots there. So we've played from the fairway bunker, we've played where there's not much sand, and we've played with a lot of sand. Coming weeks, again, tell me different lies. I know we're going to do a downhill lie. We're going to play the ball above the feet and ball below the feet in the coming weeks. But also, what distance shots do you want to see? Do you want to talk about shaping shots into the green, what that's going to affect? So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this will help you out. Hopefully it'll give you a bit more confidence in the dreaded bunker. And I'll see you again later in the week.